Hi, this is Ian from EssentialTennis.com, where it's my mission to bring passionate instruction to passionate tennis players all over the world, just like you. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about the art of the backspin lob. And this is an extremely important shot that you should be practicing, especially if you're a doubles player. If you're a singles player, it can absolutely come in handy as well. But as a doubles player, this is a shot you must be practicing. And I always thought it was funny when I was teaching full-time at a club that had a dozen teams of doubles players. Inevitably, everybody would be complaining about the lob, and yet I never saw anybody practicing the lob, which always struck me as kind of funny. So this is a shot you should be treating as part of your arsenal as a doubles player for sure. So, and I want to dedicate this video to Carlos, who wrote to me and just kind of made a general comment that there's not a whole lot of defensively aligned videos out there, instructional videos. So this is for you, Carlos. Now, as we work on this shot, there's three main elements that we're going to talk about. Element number one is as we make contact, our racket face needs to be open, meaning angled up towards the sky. And that may sound obvious to some of you at first, but I see a lot of players with a flat racket trying to kind of like shovel the ball up into the air and try to get the height that they need to either hit over an opponent or just buy themselves time and get back into a point. And let me show you what I'm talking about. This type of shot with a closed face and trying to kind of like shovel it up into the air, it's possible to hit a great shot that way, but it comes off as more of a topspin lob. And that, again, can be very good, but it's going to be much more difficult to be consistent with your delivery when the racket face is closed and you're having to try and kind of shovel the ball up into the air. So in a purely defensive situation where you're on the run, it's difficult, you're having a hard time just getting to the ball, I don't recommend that type of technique. You should have a continental grip and instead be opening the racket first and foremost, okay? From there, as you make contact, your racket should be gently guiding the ball up into the air. Second most common mistake I see is that players will run to the ball, hit it with an open face, but they have a very kind of short, abrupt, choppy hit. That kind of looks like this. They'll run, get there, and then just kind of like jolt the ball up into the air. And there's no feel, there's no touch. A lob is a touch shot. I want you to think of this as like a delicate drop shot where you're trying to get just the right amount of touch and feel to hit the depth that you want. A lob is very similar. So this can be difficult when you're on the run, but as you get to the ball, you should be smoothly guiding the ball up into the air, and you should be finishing. Remote control is having issues today. You should be finishing with your racket well up above your shoulder and out towards your target with that open racket face. Let me hit one or two more. That smoothness and that length of swing are extremely important to your ability to control this shot, especially when you're kind of frantically trying to run the ball down and you're in a difficult position. Last tip that I'll give you here, Carlos and everybody else watching, you'll notice the targets that I have set up. I've been practicing my forehand backspin lob, and my targets are cross court. That gives me a little bit of extra space to work with, a little bit more room, which means I can hit it a little higher and deeper, buy myself more time, and also have more space to be able to potentially hit the ball over an opponent. Down the line is just more difficult. It doesn't mean that it can't ever be successful, but generally speaking, especially in a purely defensive scenario, you should be either aiming for the center of the court or cross court most of the time. So keep that in mind as well as you practice and certainly as you use a backspin lob in competition. So Carlos, hopefully you enjoyed this video, and everybody else, if you're watching, if you've enjoyed this defensive lesson on the backspin lob, do me a favor and click like on YouTube. Also subscribe to the Essential Tennis YouTube channel so you don't miss out on future lessons and pro footage and lots of other stuff that we're coming out with constantly. Also, any comments or questions that you may have, leave those down below this video. With that, thank you so much for watching today. I appreciate your time and your attention. Take care and good luck with your tennis.